Imagine a time before humans, before cities, before fire, before stories. The Earth was wild, painted in greens and browns beneath a silent sky. 4.7 million years ago, Africa was warm, covered in forests and open plains. In this ancient world, a new story began, the story of those who would become us. These were our ancestors, not yet human, but more than apes, a bridge between two worlds. We call them Australopithecus afarensis. Their lives were a daily struggle for food and safety, surrounded by beauty and danger. Every sunrise brought new challenges, every sunset, new fears. They survived by instinct, protecting their young and reading the land with senses sharper than ours. No maps, no guides, just the rustle of leaves, the shape of clouds, and the rhythm of the earth. Their eyes scanned the horizon, their ears caught every sound. They were part of the wild, not separate from it. Our story begins here, not with kings, but with a small group on the African plains. Their lives were simple, yet filled with drama and courage. They took the first steps away from their ape-like ancestors onto a new path. This path would, over millions of years, lead to us. To understand ourselves, we must look back to them, see the world through their eyes, feel their challenges. Their legacy is not in stone, but in our DNA. This is where humanity's journey truly begins. The most remarkable thing about Australopithecus afarensis was how they moved. They stood up and walked on two legs, a revolution in evolution. Their walk was awkward, but it was bipedalism. Standing tall let them see over the grasses, spot predators, and find food. Upright walking freed their hands to carry food, infants, and eventually, tools. Their bodies were a mix of old and new, short, long-armed, with hips and feet slowly adapting to life on the ground. The pelvis widened, feet lost the grasping big toe, and arches began to form. They were caught between the trees and the open plains. Walking upright was hard, likely painful at first, but the benefits were immense. It allowed them to travel farther, explore new lands, and adapt to a changing world. This single act, standing up, was the first giant leap for humankind. It set our ancestors on a new evolutionary path. Their hands, now free, would one day shape the world. The transition was not easy, but it was essential. They endured aches and dangers for the promise of survival. Bipedalism opened new possibilities, from carrying food to making tools. It was the beginning of our journey toward becoming human. The world changed, and so did they. Their boldness echoes in every step we take today. The first step upright was the first step toward us. Dawn broke, and an Australopithecus family stirred in the trees. Sleep was dangerous, the high branches offered their only safety. As the sun rose, the group descended to search for food and water. Their diet was simple: roots, berries, seeds, insects, and the occasional egg or fruit. Foraging was a team effort. Some watched for danger while others gathered. Knowledge of safe plants and hidden dangers was learned by watching, not words. Protecting the young was everything. Mothers carried infants everywhere. The group shared responsibility for safety, forming circles to defend against predators. Bonds were strong. Instinct and affection tied them together. As dusk approached, they searched for safe trees to spend the night. Nightfall brought new dangers. Predators hunted in the dark. They huddled together for warmth and security, listening to the night. Their lives were a cycle of survival: food, safety, family. Every day was lived in the present, shaped by the needs of the moment. Their world was simple, but their struggle was profound. In their daily routine, the seeds of humanity were sown. This was life at the dawn of our story. How did our ancestors communicate without language? Their world was filled with sounds, gestures, and body language. Sharp cries warned of predators. Soft hoots kept the group together. Every call had meaning, every gesture a purpose. Body language spoke volumes: dominance, submission, comfort, or fear. Grooming was more than hygiene. It built trust and calmed tensions. A mother comforted her infant with touch and gentle sounds, not words. Disputes were settled with displays, rarely with violence. Understanding these cues was vital for group harmony. Their communication was limited. No abstract ideas, no distant plans. Their world was immediate danger. Food, come here. Yet these simple signals allowed them to cooperate and survive. These were the first conversations of our lineage. From these whispers, human language would one day grow. Life for Australopithecus was lived on the edge. They were prey, not predators, surrounded by giant hyenas, saber-toothed cats, crocodiles, and even predatory birds. Night was the greatest fear. Without fire, darkness belonged to the hunters. Their only defense was to climb high and hope for safety. Even in the trees, danger lurked. Some predators could climb too. Nature itself was a threat. Droughts, floods, fires, and storms. Hunger and thirst made them vulnerable, forcing risky journeys for water. Every day was a test of resilience and resourcefulness. Fear kept them alert, sharpening their senses and instincts. The most aware and cooperative survived to pass on their traits. Natural selection was relentless, shaping their bodies and minds. Their struggle forged toughness and adaptability. The harshness of their world demanded constant vigilance. Only the quick and clever endured. In this crucible, the future of humanity was shaped. Their survival was never guaranteed. Every day was a victory against the odds. For ages, our ancestors used only what nature gave them: sticks, stones, their own hands. But then came a spark, the first act of invention. Someone struck 2 stones, chipping off a sharp flake. This was the birth of technology. A sharp edge, far better than teeth or claws. Now they could cut meat, access marrow, and scavenge more effectively. This new food fueled their bodies and brains. The first tools were crude but revolutionary. We call them Oldowan tools, simple yet powerful. The skill spread by watching and imitation, not teaching. Making a tool required planning, finding the right rock, striking at the right angle. This changed how they thought, visualizing, preparing, practicing. The hand and brain evolved together, each driving the other forward. Tool-making rewired their minds, opening new possibilities. It was more than survival. It was the start of creativity. This feedback loop, better tools, bigger brains, would shape our destiny. The journey from stone flakes to smartphones began here. Invention became part of what it meant to be human. The first spark lit the path to our future. Australopithecus was just the beginning. Over time, new hominids emerged, adapting to a changing world. About 2.4 million years ago, Homo habilis appeared. The handyman, skilled with tools. Their brains were larger, their faces less ape-like, their diets more varied. Intelligence and cooperation grew, giving them an edge. Then came Homo erectus, taller and more human-like, with long legs for travel. They crafted sophisticated hand axes and mastered new skills. For the first time, our ancestors left Africa, exploring new lands. They crossed deserts, followed herds, and reached Asia and Europe. This was the first great migration, a testament to adaptability and curiosity. Each new species built on the last, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The journey was long, but every step brought us closer to who we are. The road to humanity was paved with courage, invention, and endless change. The most important trend in our evolution was the growth of the brain. Australopithecus had a brain not much bigger than a chimpanzee's, but with Homo habilis and Homo erectus, brain size nearly doubled. Bigger brains demanded more energy. Meat and marrow provided the fuel. Better tools led to better food, which led to bigger brains, a powerful feedback loop. This changed everything. Social groups grew, cooperation deepened, planning improved. Childhood lengthened, giving more time to learn and adapt. With a bigger brain came new awareness, more complex thought, better memory, and the seeds of reason. Our ancestors could plan, solve problems, and perhaps even understand cause and effect. The dawn of reason had begun. They were still far from modern humans, but the foundation was set. The journey from survival to self-awareness was underway. Our remarkable brain is the true legacy of our ancient past. Today, we live in a world of technology and cities, but our ancient past lives within us. The courage of that first upright step echoes in our curiosity and drive to explore. The instinct to protect our young, the need for community, the thrill and fear of the unknown, all are ancient gifts. Our hands, our creativity, our problem-solving, they began with those first stone tools. When we work together, share knowledge, or marvel at the world, we repeat patterns millions of years old. Remember those early ancestors huddled in the dark, facing unimaginable challenges. Their struggles were our struggles, their survival our miracle. We are the inheritors of their journey, carrying their spirit into the future. Our connection to them is deep and unbreakable. In every one of us, the